there is noise. Hi guys. Hello. I'm super happy because the weather is actually great right now. This is Monday, 26th of May, and I am spending a few days away from home, not so far, like a couple of hours, and I am by the sea, the Baltic Sea. I need to check that one because I keep saying without being sure. Yesterday was rainy mainly, and but today is super sunny, and it's Monday and I am off, so I'm actually super happy about that. And I wanted to do a video on I was not posting on YouTube for a couple of years, and I would say that I really went through it during those 2 years. It would not be the hardest period of my life, I would say, but there was a lot of going back and forth with healing and getting to know myself, and learning about the difference between self-love and self-liking. I don't know if I can say that, because there is a lot of practices that I have for myself as somebody who cares for me, and I take care of my body, and I make sure all my basic needs are covered. I train, I eat healthy, I drink water, I try not to stress too much, and almost 2 years ago, I was really in a very, very dark space because I was drinking alcohol and isolating more and more. And the topic of today would be functioning depression, or functional depression and functional alcoholism. Honestly, this is like a tough subject for me, because whatever I'm going through or anything I can be doing in my life, I do not let it appear. I make sure that I present correctly to the world. And yeah, sorry, this video is gonna be a bit deep as well. I keep my head high. I think it's a thing of my country of origin, of Rwanda. Like Rwandans, we really like to keep our heads high in whichever situation and no matter what happens. And this is how I feel like I should. I like to go out there looking proper and presentable. So this really does it, that you cannot tell what's going on. And I can show some sadness probably on my face, but it's never gonna look like, oh my gosh, she's drinking too much, or she's really depressed. But the depression, I would call, I don't even know if it's depression that I had, but honestly, I've been a sad girl for my whole life. And I remember even being like a child and just sitting in a corner and wondering whatever is going on with the people around me, and always feeling like no one could see me, or I was misunderstood. So I would say that was not something new in my life to feel like depressed. But then I was also very I had a lot of work, but at the same time not any direct person that needed me, like I did in the past with my siblings, and then my daughter, and having her on her own and independent. I just felt empty. So I guess I had to fill it with things, or with drinking, training too much, working a bit too much. And then at some point I was really drinking so much wine that I don't even know how I went through showing up every morning to the gym, because I was training at 7 a.m. for like a year and a half, while I was drinking the night before. So I was a functioning alcoholic. I don't know if I was to the point that I could call myself that, but that's how I want to see it. Because if I don't tell myself that I was an alcoholic, then I would just say, okay, it's fine if I drink a little bit here and there, and I know that I don't just have a glass of wine, I will be having 3 or 4 or 5, and then go to bed at 1 in the morning and wake up still drunk, and keep going with life. I take this one very seriously, and even people around me could never tell, or they could tell and just still think it's fine, because alcohol is also very, very normalized in today's society. For me, it's not, because I see around me there are some people that drink too much, and they cannot show up for themselves as they should. Not my place to judge, but I also don't think it's right, and I don't want to be one of them. I have younger siblings, I have a daughter. I want to inspire people to do better. Like, if you were working on taking care of your body and then putting in alcohol, which is like, it's being proven now that it's one of the worst poisons. It doesn't matter if you have a glass or 10, it's still not good. So anyways, I stopped alcohol 31st of July in 2023. Not from one day to the other, because I had almost been crying over it for a few months, and every Monday, every Sunday, I would just like say, okay, Monday I'm starting, or beginning of the month I'm stopping. I could just go one day or two and then drink again. How did I do it? I did it by filming myself when I was feeling like crap, waking up, like in my bed, feeling like, oh, I drank some wine again and I don't feel good, and almost crying every time I was just thinking about how I felt, like, once again. And it was Wednesday morning and I was drunk or hungover. That was not justified, but I kept filming myself in that state until one day, it was a Monday, and I just said, I don't care if it's the first of the month or not. I just stopped. So it's been like 665 days now. I have an app that called Sober, that keeps up with how many days I'm sober. It's been a minute, and I'm really, really, really glad I did. Although after, like, no one prepares you to when you stop drinking alcohol, how bad you're gonna feel after that. Like, I was feeling physically not great, sorry, when I was drinking, but at the same time, the physical unwellness, or I don't know how to say that, can go away. You hydrate, you sleep a little, you just go for a walk, whatever, then you actually feel better physically. But then you can drink another glass the next day to feel better emotionally. It was not always making me feel better, but at least it was kind of numbing me and making me forget how I was feeling about myself. I think the root cause of drinking so much, especially not in a social setting, because I drive, and I would go to a party and then go back home and drink wine, because I couldn't drink because I was driving. So I ended up drinking alone. This is also what flagged it to me, because I was ashamed of drinking in society. I was drinking alone. This is definitely a sign of alcoholism, or just my brain that was not approving the fact that I was drinking, and I was ashamed of it, so I was doing it alone. Yeah, anyways, it would always help or alleviate the pain, the daily pain of just existing. So I gave up on that. I gave up on being soothed by the alcohol, and I just expected to feel so much better. Like, I thought, okay, now I'm gonna stop drinking in 2 months. I'm gonna be so fit, and I'm gonna be so this. I was wrong, because when you stop, that one practice that could just like turn your brain off for a second, even if it could put your brain into worse states, it would still make you forget a little bit. When you don't have that, you can never forget, which means that if you have any sort of pain, it's gonna be with you 24 hours every single day until you die. And sometimes the only thing I miss about not drinking is thinking I'm never gonna catch a break. Like, when can I just like turn it off and just be in the moment and forget that this or that. But yeah, anyways, I think it's gonna get better. But in the first months, it was hell. Like, I was physically getting a little bit better, but then getting worse, because the whole being present in the moment every time made me so anxious, and I had stomach pain. I had fear of everything, and I just had almost panic attacks, I would say, because I was having like physical pain in my stomach that I felt, okay, something is wrong with me. It was just that anxiety was present and was never put to bed, and it lasted a few months. And yeah, and then depression, I guess, became worse. And the voice that I had always telling me that I was less than was also heightened. I could hear it even louder. It was just screaming at me at all points of the day. So honestly, being sober is you have to mentally prepare of for the other things. When I was drinking, I always thought I can be better by just quitting alcohol. But then if you quit alcohol or drugs or whatever you're using to feel better, your mind is focused on achieving that goal. But the goal was achieved. It's a goal that's gonna be to be kept forever. But now I've been sober for 665. It's something, I'm proud of it. But when the excitement and pride slows down, you just need to find something. You hear different things and you have different feelings and new emotions come up. You need to be prepared for it, and to have like a plan in place for when you feel like you're getting physically better and your mind is gonna play you tricks. Honestly, I think that anyone that drinks a lot, not just for social purposes, I would say, is going through something, and normally that something is being shut down in that moment until you can stop, and then you will hear it. I heard it so loud. I just realized how much I could take care of myself, because I also think I've been like for the past 10 years doing a practice of reparenting myself by giving myself the basic needs, like of physiological needs, like training and self-care. And yeah, honestly, I don't know, it was not expected, but it was getting harder and harder and harder. But now, today, I can say that because I stopped alcohol, the depression was really coming from my feelings of not being enough, uh, and the voice that was telling me that got so loud because I was sober. And at some point I had to say stop, like this is too much, stop bullying me. Like my own brain was just mistreating me for this whole freaking time, and I did not know about it. And I had been thinking about the fact that a lot of people, I think, get to heal and get to grow, get to work on themselves while they are being surrounded. For me, that did not work, because anytime I get surrounded, then I get busy because I want to take care of the people around me. Or if someone wants to be there for me and help me, it will distract me so much that I forget that I have a problem. So I was not able to, despite the people that the chances, the opportunities I had to be helped, surrounded, or just supported by someone in my life, I never would have given them the chance, because the voice was not loud enough. But now, honestly, I would say that I did it alone, because even when I try to communicate it to the people closest to me, I think they would just think, okay, you're gonna be okay. But deep down, it was the apocalypse at all times. It was terrible. But yeah, stopping alcohol made my depression get worse. Created anxiety within my stomach that it was just, I thought I was going crazy, and I kind of felt like I was sick, but also not sick. So the voice became louder, and until a few months ago, where it screamed so hard that I was like, stop. And then found out that you could love yourself so much and still not like yourself, which is what happens often in relationships, I guess, and then people end up resenting one another when they're still in love. Or this also happens in families where you love the people but you don't like them and you don't want to be around them. This was exactly my case with myself. I loved myself, never liked myself. Working on that now. I think it's coming, and I had written some things, but actually, yeah, I just wanted to say that stopping alcohol made everything come up on the surface, and got my mental health worse before it got better. So I think now I'm definitely on the other side of the tunnel, and I cannot wait to say that I came from functioning alcoholic to functioning depressive person to thriving. Yeah, I think it's possible. And honestly, as I said in one of my other like I said in one of my other videos, I have never felt this appreciative of myself, or I've never been this close to who I really am. And I learned to like myself. I can only see things getting better from here. So yeah, I'm really grateful for having the courage to stop, for pushing through when it felt like I was gonna break. And I thank myself for pushing and liking myself enough to want to be better and do better and just improve my overall health and humanize myself. Yeah, and I think my entire world is gonna reflect it. And I'm that was my message today. If you wanna quit drinking, you will need to prepare for what comes next. The hard part is the hardest part for me was not to stop drinking. It was what happened next, because I'm a very determined person. When I want to do something, I need to repeat it a few times so that my brain can align with it. But when I start talking about it, it's already decided that I'm gonna go through with it. So I did actually want to get sober because I want to set the right example, and I did that. That was not the hardest part to do. And yeah, now I know that the work starts when you stop. So the work is not done because you stopped. That would be amazing, but no. But right now, I think I have silenced that little voice, and now we are ready to be aligned with the, I don't know, true self, and move forward better. And yeah, yes, and I'm really glad. I'm grateful. See you in the next one. Bye.